Virginia, y'all. Okay? So everyone give me a hey, Corinne. Come on. Hey, all right. Well, I am glad to be in the most beautiful state in our country for sure today. Hey, I want to talk about the mobile movement. I write books. I want to thank Jessica for flying me all the way in, but this is not a sales presentation. We want to show you some of the latest movement in mobile technology today, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun. I write some Shelley Cashman. Anyone ever teach Office or anything? So if you write some of that, I'm one of the Shelley Cashman authors. We have Office 2019 coming out next month, all ready to rock. But let me tell you what I'm most proud of. I am the mother of 6 children. And this is my, my crew. And we have 4 sons and 2 daughters. So, and the big kid on the right, y'all see him? That would be the husband. So that's my biggest kid of all. Hey guys, and they're making me beautiful grandbabies. Hey, let me explain to anyone in here that is becoming a parent, skip over the becoming a parent. Just go straight to grandparent. It's a much better deal. You don't have to pay for anything. You just show up and make life happy. So if that were just possible, right? Would everybody agree with me? So I cannot wait to show you what's coming out there today. Let's start here. You know, I want you to imagine our students today are like you. They just had lunch. They come in the classroom. And if I do one of these numbers, morning, I've got this dynamic thing going on. They're going to sit there and go, oh, looking at the watch if they even wore one, right? So let's start here. I want you to imagine there is some new great mobile technologies knocking on your classroom door. Now, I know she looks a little high maintenance, but for the next little 45 minutes, we're going to go on a speed date of what are some of the coolest new technologies. So we're going to stretch out. No big spending needed. Come on, let her in. Is this not perfect for me? Everybody come on in. We've got some great seats up here. Come on up right now so you can get comfortable. You don't want to have to stand the whole hour. So let's come on up. And I want you to know that my next session, right after this one, we're going to be doing a lot of VR. So stay tuned. So let's just hop right in here and let me show you where we're going with all this. You know, we want everyone to just demonstrate what's possible. A leader in the classroom always shows what can you do. So let me start here, everyone. I want you to imagine that there are 4 C's that really make up education today if we do it right. And it's not memorize, recite, regurgitate. Did you know that? Turns out, first C is creativity. How can we do things a little bit differently? Second one, how do we make them think? Critical thinking is key. Companies do not hire our young people today just to repeat the same old things. They want them to think out of the box, solve issues and problems, and do something new. Communication, and we're not just talking by Snapchat, okay? And last one, how can we collaborate? So let me kick this up into high gear. Let's start with creativity. Your creative work will tell your story. You know, a lot of our students, you know, when they're looking at the same page in the book again, doing the multiple choice, want to do something a little bit different. How can we start to tell their story? Well, I thought I'd introduce a fun little app with you. And for time's sake, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm not sure we're going to all have time to download it at once. But let me tell you about it. Everybody, our first creative way to teach today is something called Blipper. And if you want to try to download it to see if you have enough time, you can try it. but this might be one that waits a little bit. Let me share something with you. Do you all see the AR in Blipper? What does AR stand in the technology world? Anybody know?
Artificial reality.
Close. Augmented reality. Very good. Augmented reality. Let me kind of show you what Blipper is. So this is a free downloadable app that you can point at anything. I want you to imagine you're in a chemistry lab. And in front of you are all of these beakers, all these different tools that you just call it, well, that thingamabob I should pour into this thing. We don't know what all the names are. A lot of our students in our classes, everything is brand new terminology. Let me kind of show you what Blipper does. Are you ready?
Have you ever seen a flower and wondered what kind it was?
What? Do you all catch this? You could take students outside with the Blipper app. I wish we were outside, a little hard to do it inside. But we could point at any flower. Now the trouble is, never point at a bouquet. It goes a little freakish. It's like, what? But now if you point at a tree, you can point at anything and it tells you what kind it is. It often tells you the scientific name. So if you're used to calling it hibiscus, you'll probably see the phylum name that's available for that. Let's see what else.
Have you looked at an animal and wanted to learn more?
It tells you what breed of dog you have. Don't be ashamed with mud.
Your favorite food could tell you everything about it. And what if an instrument could teach you how to play it? Could the brands you love tell you their stories? And now imagine the simplest objects connected in ways you never thought possible. The world around you can now come to life like never before, inspiring you to go on the most unexpected journeys. Discover more of the world you see. Welcome to Blipper.
That's great for Alzheimer's.
It would be. It would be.
If they remember how to use
what
it.
it is. You remember how to use the app. So with Blipper, we're now able to put them in a chemistry class and they can point at every single item and they would get the correct name. They can be in a culinary arts classroom and point at all that different equipment and understand what it is and what to do with it. But it goes beyond beside just pointing. I want you to understand that I'm going to head to Blipper on a website here and show you where this is. I'm going to go to a website called blipper.com. And when I'm up here at blipper.com, this shows us that there's now over about 500,000 products that when you point at the products, it tells what it is, what to do with it. Let me give you an example. I was trying to get it through TSA, but they're a little frowned upon me bringing too many products. Now if you point Blipper at ketchup, Heinz ketchup, it gives you hundreds of recipes of what to do with ketchup tonight. If you point at Spam, guess what? It gives you all these recipes what to do with it as well. But we're seeing it in every capacity used in schools all over. But let me show you some other ways you could use Blipper. In addition to that, I want you to imagine we are outside. I was trying to get down into the car park this morning and I thought, well, I can't take everybody down there, so I'll show you this instead. Let's say you're an automotive teacher. Wouldn't this be cool? You can point at any car with Blipper and let me show you what happens. It tells you the make, the model, the current cost, and it gives you a 360 tour inside without breaking and entering. Super proud of the most part. 15,000, but that is a Rolls Royce. So if you're an automotive teacher, but it goes even beyond that, in downtown Honolulu, I would imagine that I'm on a street corner, really two busy streets. You can now pull out your Blipper app and see this. In larger cities, it will tell you what the menu on that restaurant is. How much does it cost? It also does things like historic buildings. If you went to the city hall, it would tell you what year it was built, all those pieces and parts. We are definitely moving forward in mobile. So they're working on right now doing real estate. So you'll be able to point any house for sale and do an entire home tour inside. They even have in this that they have over hundreds of famous people. Let me show you, tens of thousands. So you point in a magazine or your TV and you're wondering who that is, it tells you. Say, have you blipped it yet? I want you to go, oh yeah, I've used Blipper. We're in with that. So let me show you some more that we can actually bring into the classroom. Let me kind of go with our next little piece here. You know, Einstein once said that education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. You know, I think education is about to take a huge 360. If you think about all the tests we give, typically they're fill in the blank. Memorize this. What does CPU stand for? All the different terms. But guess what? You can look up that information anytime. But how can we get someone to critically think about something? Let me take you to an app and a website next called Wolfram Alpha. Who's used this one before? Got a couple on this one, but they've added a lot more lately. So it's also an app, but the app does cost a couple dollars. So I want to show both, but please understand, one is free, one does cost $2.99. But let me go to the website and kind of do a little Wolfram Alpha here. So the word is wolframalpha.com. And wolframalpha.com was created by Dr. Wolfram. And the idea was he wanted a mobile way to be able to look up information but correct information. Do you get my point? How many have Googled something and they look it up and there's just craziness talking? Or I recently had a student, I said, speak on any new technology. She spoke on something called mapping your DNA. She said maybe one day it could happen. And I'm like, how old was that website you were looking at? So let me kind of show you with Wolfram Alpha. We'll start out with something super simple. Let's say I want to find out the calories of a Big Mac. You all with me? What do you guys think? Come on, give me a number.
978.
978. Let's see how we do here. So this is not a search engine like Google that sends you to another website. It actually keeps you within the website and is connected to what Dr. Wolfram and many colleagues think are some of the best resources. So here we are, and probably he was right. Guess what happened to the Big Mac over the last couple years? It got smaller. So hey, less calories, everybody, only 520. But then it takes you into all kinds of chemistry, conversions, everything throughout. Let's see what else we can find out. I want you to now, with Wolfram Alpha, I want to do something like the star chart over Honolulu tonight. So now we can kind of see where the stars are going to be. So now we can type that in, and we can find out the exact sky chart over us tonight, with tonight's sky. Hopefully as beautiful and clear as we go along. But it also can do some mathematics. Now I had teachers go, oh my goodness, this is really going to cause cheating. Well, let's see what we're talking about. Let me put in 3x plus 2. And now, once I took any kind of mathematical equation, and it can do calculus and all that stuff beyond, let's see what we come up with here. At 3x plus 2, uh-oh. But a lot of times students go home in a home that their parents only went like mine to 3rd grade. And I need help with homework. I need to make sure I'm on the right pathway. Now I can kind of figure it out, but now this can also break things down so maybe I can understand it as well. It even does derivatives, integrals, everything that I would ever need in that field. But it also does some kind of unique things. I'm going to put in my first name. I'm Corinne. So I type in Corinne into Wolfram Alpha, and it gives me statistics about anything and everything. Did you know that 325 people per year in our country name their daughter Corinne? Not very common, am I? And the average person right here, Corinne is actually 32 years of age. Boy, I'm not 32 years of age, but that's how common that age is. So this is a great way to kind of see statistics as you go and put anything and everything together. We can even look up our cities. Let's put in Hilo right here. Anybody from Hilo? Yeah. So I'll put in Hilo right here, and we can find out everything about that city. So we can put in Big Island right here. So we can find out any demographic that you need, what the average almost anything and everything is. So let's find out. The Hilo to, let's see, let's come down in here. Oh, I'm not getting as much as, there's 43,263 people. I think they've got that just for Hilo, not the whole Big Island, obviously. So we can dig down. Let me take it a little further, though, now. So, a lot of times what our students need us to do is not just be the information giver. Let me kind of show you something. I've always wanted to learn to fly a glider. What do you think? Let's see how this lesson goes. Our students need us to be the teacher, the coach, the instructor. Can you imagine being flung off, no engine, high in the sky? Do you know who these people are? As much as I think we were raised that we were always the sage on the stage. We're the person in the center, we're lecturing, we're bringing everyone together. But ultimately, our students now need us differently. They need us to be the guide on the side to assist as we move along. Let me kind of show you what I mean by that. So they need us. Can you imagine those two people up in the air? That's not going to go well. So communication is the human connection. It's the key to personal and career success. Let me kind of show you a way we can use communication. And the first way I wanted to show this is there's a brand new app. Right now it's only out for iPhones. It's coming out in the next couple weeks for Android. But it is for people who are visually impaired. Not all of our students have the same opportunities as other ones. This app is called Seeing AI. So let me kind of show you what they're doing.
For people with visual impairments, the app narrates the world around you by turning the visual world into an audible experience. Point your phone's camera, select a channel, and hear a description. The app recognizes saved friends.
Jenny, your top right, 3 feet away.
Describes the
Isn't that
people
amazing?
around you, including their emotions.
28-year-old female wearing glasses looking happy.
It reads text out loud as it comes into view, like on an envelope,
Ken Lawrence, P.O. Box,
or a room entrance,
Conference 2005.
or scan and read documents like books and letters. The app will guide you and recognize the text with its formatting.
Top and left edge is not visible. Hold steady. Please agreement. This agreement is
When paying with cash, the app identifies currency bills.
$20 US.
And by the way, in about 100 different countries of
Or
currency.
at the store, Use the barcode scanner with audio cues to help you find what you want. Campbell's tomato soup. When available, hear additional product details.
Heat and microwave bowl on high.
And even hear descriptions of images in other apps like Twitter by importing them into Seeing AI.
A close-up of Bill Gates.
Finally, explore our experimental features like scene descriptions to get a glimpse of the future.
I think it's a young girl throwing a frisbee in the park.
Isn't that amazing?
Experience the world around you with the Seeing AI app from Microsoft.
Yeah, this is a totally free app. They're pushing it out. They just pushed it out a couple weeks ago. And what we're seeing is it's just a new way to see the world around you. But I wanted you to try a couple apps. So now this is the part I'm going to get everyone to try. If you brought a smartphone, everybody pull it out. We're going to be doing two apps together, and the first of which is called Office Lens. Now both are free. I'd like you to download them to your phone. So the first one is Office Lens, and I need you to get ready for it. Everyone find at your table at least a couple business cards. So everyone dig out a couple business cards. We're going to be using them in a moment. So Office Lens, everybody lean over and tell your neighbors on each side 2 words. Help me. Everybody try it out. Come on. Go, go, go. Say it.
Help me.
Some of you are not lying. What are we downloading right now, everybody? How much does it cost? And here is what the logo looks like. Got it? Not loser, but Office Lens. Got it? Now, a lot of times in our classes, we write on chalkboards, we write on whiteboards, and you've seen the student walk up afterwards like this, right? They take their camera out on their phone, they try to point at it, but it's shadowed, it's dark, it's angled, wonky ankles, not ankles, and then at the end, they can't read what they took for notes. So let me show you the #1 free business app that's now being used in classrooms everywhere. So what does it do? Well, it does several things. The first thing is I want you to imagine you come up to this whiteboard and you get this picture. Not so great, right? It's angled, you can't read it later. But it does have the capture capability, but it's going to do more than that. So let me show you how this works. You download Office Lens, and we're going to try it in a moment. It has different functions. The first one is called the whiteboard function. So imagine that I walk up to that left picture on the side. I open Office Lens instead of my camera. I point it at the whiteboard or chalkboard or whatever I'm trying to do. I take a picture of it, and everyone look at the second picture. 1 second later, it cleans up that terrible whiteboard image, and so you can actually read it, but it even gets better from there. It then allows you to save it. You can save it locally on your phone, but even better, it allows you to reopen it in some Microsoft products. For example, you could reopen this in Word, in Excel, in OneNote, even in Outlook. And the idea here is that you can even edit it. So let me kind of show it this way. I want you to imagine, if you don't mind me touching your book, I'll bring it right back. I want you to imagine that you're on the conference committee, and you have this from last year. We're going to pretend it's a year from now, sorry. And you need to update it for next year. But you want all this layout, and you ask everyone, who typed this in? Who has this on their computer? Where is this file? Well, maybe some people retired, nobody knows nothing. And you're looking at this going, I don't want to have to read you everything. So with Office Lens, you can take a picture of any printed sheet of paper, but it does more than just make it look pretty. Then it can be opened in Word. It has an optical character recognition inside of it. So then you can edit this entire document, add a couple letters, fix the year so it doesn't say 2019 next year. Can you imagine next year is what year, everyone? 2020. 2020. Wow, this sounds so big. So now we can clear it up. How many in your world find an old worksheet, find an old piece of paper, and they're like, I don't want to have to redo everything to get it back in there. Law firms are now taking this with legal documents and just putting them back in to update them and edit them. But what we're going to try, everybody, is a business card. Are you ready? Is it downloaded? So let me walk everyone through this. I want you to find Office Lens on your phone. If you have a neighbor next to you with no device, because they were trying to be good, I want want you to share with them. So everyone, let's open Office Lens on your device. When it opens, you should see a big orange screen. I'm even matching it today. So far, so good? Now, when you open it up, there we go. Do you see at the very bottom, there are words that say whiteboard, document, business card. Which one are we doing? Okay, so we're going to do the business card. I want you to take turns sharing a couple business cards at the table. Does anybody not have one at their table? So watch me when I take this business card. Now everyone stand up, and I'm going to show you how to do this so that we get it just right. Stand up real quick. Now make sure you don't have major shadows. In fact, Jessica, hit the light so it's super bright. Number, where'd Jessica go? I think we lost her. The lights are right over there. Right, what number is it on right now? Put on 7. Okay, do you get the better light, everybody? Make sure there's not, you may need to put the business card if you're getting a lot of shadows. Now, when you point at the business card at your table, you'll get like a red-orange layout around it, does it? Now, take the picture real quick. You don't have to get super close. And then 1 second later, show everybody at your table. Do you see how nice it cleans it up? Mine was not that close. Share your business cards. Now, have a seat. Let me talk about how business is done nowadays. I recently was presenting in Johannesburg, South Africa, and I walked up to one of the people there, and they had their business card out. And so I pulled my business card to share it. It is now considered polite in business if you do this. You take their card, you take the office lens of it, and then you hand their card back to them. Because with travel, people can't carry a lot with them. So now that's considered business savvy. It used to be considered downright rude, right? So now, why would this be cool? Now that you have this business card, Microsoft can read every letter on it. So let me take it one step further. We've got the image. We would then hit the check mark that you see. And if you have like any kind of Microsoft account, right, you could save it to something called OneNote. And what OneNote does, imagine now you have hundreds of people's business card in OneNote. It has an optical character recognition, so it actually can read the cards. So if I search for the name Corinne, guess whose business card pops up? So nowadays, you don't have to have those business scanner cards and all that type of thing. So now, students, if you want them to do well in your course, good idea now to get them to teach them things to take pictures of whiteboards and things like they could have organized notes, maybe using OneNote. Make sense? So everybody, what's the name of this one? Yeah, so we can do OneNote right here. Now, how many of you are outside of your island right now? You're not on your island. How many? So many of you right now might be having receipts, right? Sometimes you can say, I went and got coffee this morning. So now you can whip out Office Lens, and it actually, well, you won't have to have all those receipts all crumpled up in your wallet somewhere. And now they can be brought in and digitized right as it happens, so you don't lose all that kind of stuff. So in modern day business, it's definitely the way to go. Look at this live so you can kind of see it.
Turn your iPhone into a scanner. Office Lens crops, straightens, enhances, and makes pictures of whiteboards and documents readable. How do you save and share your meeting notes on the whiteboard?
Watch how nice it cleans this up.
Use Office Lens. Just frame your shot from any angle and snap a picture.
Isn't that amazing? 1 second later.
Automatically crops, straightens, sharpens, and cleans up whiteboard images. Save the image to OneNote or OneDrive and get it from any of your devices. Or share the image in an email. Do you ever worry about misplacing important documents? Switch to document mode and Office Lens will trim and color the image perfectly. Save time and convert the image to a Word document that you can edit.
and then edit the document right live.
And text is automatically recognized, so you can start editing right away.
So let me show you something else talking about making sure that you have time to critically think and think through. I'm going to open Microsoft Word. So I have Microsoft Word here. I'm just opening a blank document, and important to the story, the version of Office that I'm opening right now is the newest one. It's also called Office 365 or Office 2019. About 92% of businesses use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the font kind of large. And how many get emails from students? There's two kinds of emails. One that you can just simply say, yes, that's due tomorrow. Those are short. And then the other kind of question that says, could you explain the entire theory of blank, blank, blank to me in an email? And you're like, oh, great, that's a 3-pager, right? So let me go with that 3-pager. I could be in Word or in Outlook. Everybody look on the far right side of Word. There's something brand new here. And if you haven't noticed it yet, or haven't gotten the new download, you may want to. It's called Dictation. And it's really kind of weird. Our phone's been doing this for years, but not our major products. Let me kind of show you what I mean. I'm clicking Dictate. I want to thank you for coming to this conference today. Hopefully you're picking up some great new tools. Let's try that one more time. Great. Welcome to this conference today. I hope you're picking up some great new tools. In fact, everyone look in the basket in the center of the table and notice there's some good takeaways. We want to thank Jessica from Cengage Learning who put these together because she wanted to share new tools that can help make your students grow.
Good, she wanted me to.
What do you think?
She made you do better.
Yeah, baby, sometimes nothing's perfect. Now, what I do like about this is there's now about 140 different languages that can translate on the fly. So let me explain what happened to me this semester. I had a student come in January into my class, and clearly he really couldn't speak English at all. I could just see the smile and the nodding, and I went, uh-oh. I said, okay, where are you from? And he just didn't even know that. So it got to the point that I know some basic Chinese and basic Japanese, nothing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. So finally, I just opened Google Maps and I asked him to point. He pointed to Vietnam. I said, got it. So he sat down in the front row, and I turned this on from English to Vietnamese, made it big, and I said, sit here. And at first he didn't understand, so I kind of just pushed him down a little bit to sit. And then, as soon as I walked in the class, the Vietnamese characters came right up. And he just started doing this. Now, he's learning English, he's doing beautiful, but we have to give those students those transition times. So really a nice new tool to kind of work for. Nothing's perfect, but it's not too bad. What do you think? Thumbs up on this one? So it's the new dictation tool that's available in a lot of the things that we do. You know, the last of our 4 C's is collaboration, working together. And I find that students are in 2 camps. Either they love working as a team, or they look at everybody in their team thinking, oh, when can I leave, right? Well, collaboration equals innovation. You know, when you brainstorm as a team together, that's when there's power. And look who wrote that, Michael Dell. So let me kind of take you in. I showed this in my first set, but I've got to show it again. It's that good. I need everyone to download this last app of the day. What I'd like everyone to do is download a free app called Flipgrid, F-L-I-P-G-R-I-D. When you get there, you'll see a big green plus sign. So we're going to have everyone participate in this, hopefully. Even if you don't have a phone, you could work with a person next to you. This not only works on your phone, you could actually go to flipgrid.com.